Hello everybody and welcome to Uprising 144K. I'm Hydrogen. Guys, before I begin, I'm not going to give you any medical advice. I'm not making any medical claims, and I'm not making any claims for or against any product or products. Everything today is just my opinion. But today we're going to talk about how to overcome depression. First thing I'll tell you is that I actually have a lot of experience with this particular topic. I started dealing with some very severe depression when I was extremely young, roughly around the age of 7, 8 years old. So I have a lot of personal experience, and I would say that actually at this point in my life, I'm literally the happiest I've ever been. And so these are the things that I would personally suggest. First of all, I think that it's very important to figure out what's actually causing this depression, because my personal opinion is that not everybody's depression is the same. You can have depression from certain circumstances in your life. Maybe you're in a bad relationship, or maybe you hate your job. When you have these type of things, in my opinion, don't expect a pill to fix something like that. This is circumstantial in your life. You need to make certain changes. Maybe there's something else in your life going on too. For example, maybe you feel you have no purpose. Maybe you feel empty spiritually. Maybe you don't have any partner, or you just, it's hard to say, but all I'm saying is that when it's circumstantial in your life, in my opinion, a pill's not going to fix that, and you're going to have to change the circumstances in your life. Then you have a whole other group of people. Then you have certain people that just feel depressed and they don't really know why. It could be a nutritional deficiency. It could be certain hormone irregularity or some type of imbalance in regards to that. And it literally could just be connected to your actual biology, physiology. There's just something wrong with your body. Let's say everything in your life is great. Maybe you have a great job, you have a great partner, great kids, whatever, and you just don't feel right. And then at that point, you would tackle that particular situation a little differently, which I would say has a lot to do with bringing your body to a healthier state. So obviously that's going to be, in my personal opinion, you always want to clean your water. I feel very strongly about this. And as you guys know, I have lab reports in regards to what's in our water. And I think a lot of this stuff that I have seen in water really affects the body and the GI system. I think we really understand that the gut and the GI system really affects the way that you think and feel. And that's another one I'm really big on, obviously, just improving your overall health. I'm not going to go into crazy details because, all I'll say is clean water, and hydrogen's a big one. This is going to be something between hydrogen and exercise, in my personal opinion. And then, of course, proper nutrients, specifically vitamin D, really, is really going to help you, in my opinion, physiologically, biologically. I think a minimum of a 20 to 30 minute walk every day. Go read the data on this, excuse me, because it appears that literally a 20 to 30 minute walk might be working better than any antidepressant on the market. I am not a big fan, me personally, I don't give medical advice, do what you want to do, but I'm not a big fan of these type of antidepressants, specifically because what it appears to do to your mind or your brain in the long term. It's not looking good. I'm not a fan. I'd much rather actually inhale hydrogen. I think that's going to be way better for the brain, and obviously the hydrogen water, because it's so good for the gut. Just something really, really simple. And then, one of the easiest or last things that you can do that's also it's easy, but it's difficult, which is gratitude. That's been a really big one for me, as I suffered from so much depression. And when I really went through that at a young age, I wasn't having any medical issues. And then later on, when I started having medical issues, it just didn't just destroy me physically, it destroyed me mentally on top of it all. It was very, very depressing. And so one of the things that's really transformed my personal life was, one, transforming my health. I was surprised how much of an effect, even certain like anti-parasitic cleanses, though, again, I don't actually agree. I haven't seen one anti-parasitic cleanse that I really agree with. I created my own, and I did it based on data as usual. The Japanese have extensive knowledge in regards to how parasites work, and I had to completely change the way that I would do an anti-parasitic protocol as compared to what I see out there that most people either do or recommend. I think that's also a really, really big one. But what I noticed for me is, yes, bringing my health where it should be, but I noticed that losing the ability, for example, for me, it was primarily to walk, and I was in a lot of pain. And yes, I had a bunch of medical issues, but the big one was not being able to walk and not being able to exercise. And this was very depressing, and a lot of pain really, really messed me up. And for me, overcoming those things and knowing what it feels like to be ultra sick, tons of pain, terrible immune system, all these issues, and overcoming that has given me such a level of gratitude that I don't believe that I would have been able to achieve it had I not gone through the difficult times and then really get myself out of there. And really being able to achieve the things that I've been able to achieve. So I'm not really sure how much this is all going to help you guys, but I did try. So people understand, I went through a lot. Trying to overcome depression has been a massive part of my life, just the same as overcoming these medical problems that I used to have. But the depression was first, and it's definitely been longer, and I dealt with it more than just the physical issues as far as the medical problems. But like I said, I tried the psychologists and psychiatrists, and I'm not saying that it might not work for some people, but it didn't work for me, you know? And then of course, I tried all sorts of pharmaceuticals, no medical advice, nothing. I'm just telling you what I personally did for myself. And I tried a lot of those, and they didn't do anything for me. They actually didn't help me at all. And learning about the negative side effects for me is, you know, quote unquote, very detrimental. In my opinion, to my health. I'm just not a fan of pharmaceuticals, obviously. And so, yeah, ultimately it's just getting the body balanced again. I personally think that hydrogen's actually going to it's going to be one of the things that can profoundly change your body if you're dealing with some type of depression that is linked to something more biological rather than circumstantial. And I believe the data will be coming out on that. I've called a lot of things before they've happened, and I've been right on almost every single one of them, actually. And this is another one that I believe is going to be very transformative in the future. So I think, obviously, anybody dealing with health issues, cleaning the water, not because clean water is going to solve your issues, but because water that is not clean has contaminants that can, in my opinion, dysregulate you. So that's a big one. So that's just like foundational. And then obviously the hydrogen really takes things to another level. And that's all I can tell you guys. But, you know, you're hearing it from somebody who's definitely been through it. And I literally am at the happiest place in my life right now in my life. I'm very grateful for where I'm at. And I'm just sharing with you guys. If you have any questions or comments, you can do it. You can do it below and what you're going through. And I know that life is really hard right now also. And so I really hope that everybody's okay out there. And hopefully people found some of this information helpful, because I always dislike it when some professional tells me like, oh yeah, just take this pill. Like they talk to you for 5-10 minutes and they immediately want to put you on pills, thinking the pills are going to solve your whole life. I really think we need to make different changes to our life depending on what's really causing this depression or things that happen to people where they don't feel very good. And that's always a very sad place to be. But remember, always be grateful for what you do have, whether it's your health, whether it's loved ones, family, whatever it is. Try to be grateful, because that's been one of the biggest keys to really being able to have a lot more happiness, at least in my life. But that's a tough one, because sometimes you don't know what you've got until you've lost it. So, okay, with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time on the next one.